you get the bitterly disappointed about the governor part?
More.
So we had spent a lot of time talking to them about doing the right thing, and that on the policy side you would do the right thing, and the best they could do was we'll drop the percentage down to 50%, which is no change for towns and a small change for cities, and you either negotiate your way into the GIC or there's a penalty within in 2 years. Or have the actuarial equivalent. Well, we pointed out right away that if they're going to take away local aid, our best guess is that the unions would consider that their money, and that would be with the negotiation. Okay, well you're going to lose local aid unless we do this. So if there are changes, we want all the savings. It's ultimately a stupid plan. That's good for HopNews. So I really didn't want to even talk about this because we were so disappointed. If you talk to administration officials, a lot of them have, and so we're waiting on the municipal relief plan coming from the legislature, which I think is going to be within the next 10 days or so.
Within the next 10 days, but I wouldn't expect to see that change in there.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're going to fight like hell.
I understand.
Ted.
Hey, how you doing, Bob?
Hey, Ted.
I guess as a manager of a small town, the 4 issues are very good issues, which I support. But as a manager of a town, not a city, really only the one is the insurance. The other 3, meal tax, charter school, and telephone poles, will save us small money.
I understand.
Small money. The real savings is the health insurance. It's so important to try to, and we're glad Representative Kish is here and representatives, the legislature should really realize how important it is. The funding that we can save is through the health insurance. The GIC having a 50% versus 10% vote for approval is a non-starter for us as well.
I know.
Because coalition bargaining, what the union wants is to give back on contribution. We fought to change our contribution from a 90-10 town to a 75-25% town. We can't afford to go back. But that's the only thing that towns have been able to give the unions is a contribution level. So I'm, as a manager of a smaller community, bitterly opposed to continue with this coalition bargaining for GIC. And this is a great idea, and I hate to say this, but I think if it's on deaf ears for the legislature, perhaps it should come to a petition vote someday, because it really is something that's going to help the citizens. And if it does go to the ballot, people will realize what the pros and cons are and have some discussion. So as a manager who hates to say that sort of thing, I think we have to realize we're to the point where the legislature isn't realizing how important these issues are to save funds for the community, and if it has to come to that, then it should. That's all I have to say.
Well, since Barbara Anderson now is in charge of Citizens for Limited Taxation and Government, I've been praying for her to take on the health insurance issue. because something like that would force the idea of compromise on this. Because right now, frankly, the statewide unions say we don't have to give up anything.
Right, and
we'll just tough it out. Now, raise your hand if you're ready for some reasonably good news. The change in leadership in the House from Sal DeMacy, who was very good with us, but really not a local aid or local government guy, to Representative Bob DeLeo, who every time he speaks in public arenas talks about his career as a selectman, and he was twice won our Legislator of the Year award, has continued that, just met with the Mayor's Association the other day, and on this issue of health insurance did say that he had heard us loud and clear, that it was difficult, but he did have an open mind about it. And so we're going to continue to fight on that. But it is he has the best ear that we've had as Speaker in a long time. He really does understand not just local government, but town government in particular. So, Nick, you're a real powerful guy now. We expect the Speaker to be on our side.
One thing I will say, and Bob, actually, I get a caveat because he came to my wedding before he was wrecked. So we actually just go knock on his door to find him. This house we know he drives. And, he really. The one thing I can say about him is what you see is what you get from Bob. He was a selectman. I mean, the issues we have in Winthrop right now are probably some of the most severe in the Commonwealth. We laid off our police chief, our library. If an override doesn't pass, will be closed next year. Our senior center will be closed next year. We're looking at discontinuing trash service. he knows what we're up against, it's the town he lives in. And he's a regular guy. I mean, he doesn't wear $800 suits, doesn't golf. Occasionally he may split a beer with you. Won't go on my boat, which I just sold last year because I bought it longer. He's just,
It's a good thing we dropped the
you know,
boat next
I'll see him
time.
at the tournament, at the basketball game. He's in the community, he talks to people, all his friends are people in the community, so he does understand where these issues
He absolutely does, and he is really a friend of local government, and as you said, that he is comfortable in his own skin, and he's very, very approachable person. Mary?
Yeah, and I know him. He was absolutely great with Paula Scalfo when he was with Chair of House Meetings, and he got us our money for our dam, and he's a great guy, and I was thrilled to see him because he was a selectman, and it's the first time that the towns are getting anything really, because it's always been city, and the way they're apportioned, and you know this in the State House, they'll have one city and 2 or 3 towns and another city, so that it's balanced toward the cities. And let me tell you something, with the mayor's coalitions, we've either got to band together as towns or we'll hang separately.